What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Evan King, and we back with another one. So, past couple of months, I've been hearing this conversation come up repeatedly about whether or not white people experiencing racism, and what are your thoughts on that? So everybody's come out the woodworks with their opinions, and some people on the right side, some people on the left side. It's been a very interesting conversation as of late, including Jubilee dropped a video, I think a month ago, where they had a panel discussing some of the issues that whites and blacks are still going through, whatever, in this country. So here we go. One of my subscribers had sent me this video and asked me to check it out. This is brought to you by Liberty Hangout TV. I'm your boy Evan King. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment in the section below for videos you want me to check out. And it's your boy. I'm consistent. So we're gonna get right into it. You know what I mean? I don't be trying to talk too much, but you know, I do enjoy my people. But let's get into it. Let's see what this is all about.
Someone came up to me and said, I hate white people. I hate you because you're white. Did I just experience racism from that?
No.
But if I said those exact same words and twisted the skin color, it would be racist.
Absolutely. 100%.
She has a good point. She has a good point with that one. Like, if we walked up to her and made some derogatory, hateful comments towards the color of her skin, is that racism? He said no. But if she went on to do that to him and he said yes, there's a double standard here. We're walking a very thin line.
100%.
I did not go through that course of who can be racist towards each other. Interesting.
Right.
But
probably
I'm
because
good.
you're white. So.
Oh, because I'm white, I didn't go through the racism course.
Probably not.
Yo, why? Oh man. The flamboyant ones. Like I always have a thing I tell my. We're just gonna watch the video. I'm not even gonna get into it.
Yes or no? Can white people experience racism?
No.
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 No?
No. By definition, no.
What's the definition?
I would have to Google it really quickly, but.
Do that for me.
Okay.
By definition,
Okay,
and you don't know the
Google it for you.
definition. That's by definition, but you don't know the definition.
Interesting.
Oh, not me on 5%. Hold on.
Do you think it's possible for white people to experience racism?
No,
It's not?
no,
Okay. How not?
because they haven't been in the situation of being suppressed, so they don't. It's hard to be.
Suppressed? I think she meant oppressed. She said suppressed, but that doesn't matter.
It's hard to be racist when you don't have any sort of history of that happening. Like it's that experience. I don't know. It's not possible to me.
These Karens, they're like had like a couple minutes of, you know, on social media being harassed. I'm like, now you're getting a taste of what people of color have been experiencing for years. I mean, this is something I've heard online before where, you know, people say
Now you're getting a taste of what people have been going through for years. The fact that white people are now getting a taste of it kind of contradicts the point that white people can't experience racism. I don't know if I'm right in my observation, but, you know, chime in, let me know.
Holocaust was a big thing. You know, white people were, you know, mistreated, you know, murdered. And that's true. The Holocaust was real, but it was it was publicized. You don't really see the history of what people of color have been experiencing in the United States. So
I disagree with that. I don't think there's any black person that doesn't know what black people have gone through throughout their history, in this country at least. I disagree with that one.
Do you want to debate me instead of maybe explaining why I'm wrong? You want to debate me instead of cussing at me? Would you like to have a conversation?
No, I don't have a conversation with bigots.
How am I a bigot? You don't know? He's like, I don't know. All right, well, guess we follow the girls around here. Green hair.
How's she a bigot?
Why don't you come talk to me instead of cussing? Why don't you have a conversation?
She's cursing at her now.
They're incapable. They're incapable of having conversation.
I can't find the exact definition right now, but to be racist, you have to have power over, like, you kind of have to be
A majority.
a majority,
group of people who
like,
has power over a group of people.
Okay.
Right.
Now, white people are the majority. White people have, for a long period of time, been oppressors, so it's quite difficult to oppress the oppressor.
right.
Talking about giving them oppression. If someone came up to me and said, I hate white people, I hate you because you're white, did I just experience racism from that?
No. A prejudice, but not racism.
Okay.
There's a difference between racism and prejudice.
Right.
What is the definition of both so I can understand?
I think
There's like
it.
Because I'm pretty sure racism, if I'm not mistaken,
Prejudice.
it is just
The same.
thinking you're superior, your race is superior to another. And anybody can feel that way, right? Black people, Hispanic people, brown people, Asian people, white people.
But I think that there's a certain validation that comes with the racism. Sorry, that comes with the racism that comes from white people to black people. I can spew things that are like hateful to you like all day, but at the end of the day, like psychologically, the trauma, like it's not going to affect you the way it's going to affect me.
Whew. I mean, I could dissect that whole theory up. And I'm just being objective here, right? So psychologically, you can insult a white person, but because there's no history behind your derogatory comments, they cannot be impacted the same way in which you would be if the shoe was on the other foot and they were insulting you. Huh? Okay. Huh? I'm confused. Like that's the wrong way to go about it. That doesn't even make the point. You're basically saying you're allowed to make racial comments towards white people, but it's not considered racial because you're black and they're white. But if the shoe's on the other foot, it can only, so basically saying it can only be racist when it's coming from a white person. We got to do better.
How do you know? How can you judge me like that just because of my skin color?
Not devil's advocate right now.
If someone came up to me and said, I hate
He said, not devil's advocate. Yo, bro, he's basically just throwing her in a pool of just because you're white, you must be racist, or just because you're white, you're privileged. Not like white privilege is completely subjective. We know it kind of exists, but we have a narrative, especially people in the black community, of overusing the word. We hammer it every single fucking day. There are a couple of white people who probably don't even know what white privilege is because they've gone through the same struggles that black people go through. I'm just being objective here. But to say not her being devil's advocate, bro, oh God.
you because you're white.
Right.
Did I just experience racism?
I guess, yeah. I guess, yeah.
So you can be racist towards white people. That's possible.
Yeah, and if you say it like that, yeah.
That's racism, right?
But she said it in a way as if she just learned that it's possible to be racist towards other races. That's what's interesting to me.
It's a complicated question. Racism is you dislike person because of the color of your skin, but there's also some significance behind it. I don't think it's just color. For me, that's my experience.
How are black people or people of color oppressed today in 2020 in America?
Simply walking down the street. I mean, I'm from New York. I'm a Hispanic woman. I'm in Florida now, a red state, because of my skin color. I know people look at me weird down the street when I speak Spanish. People look at me funny when they see my name on a job application. I mean, oh yeah, you can tell there's a Hispanic woman, which is why I think people of color really have to work twice as hard to kind of do, or even just to catch up.
I've had tons of people in my inbox saying, I'm going to kill you white bitch and your white family. You're a white bitch. We need less of you. In my inbox. I can pull them up right now. Is that not racist?
It's wrong.
It's wrong, but it's not racist, in my opinion.
Okay, but if I said those exact same words and twisted the skin color, it would be racist.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yo, we gotta do better, bro. We gotta do better. And I get it. This is just a small survey of people. I think she interviewed maybe 3 or 4 people, but let's not front like there's not a large group of black people that agree with his stance that yes, only black people could go through struggle. And I feel like it's really the trauma of our history, and we come from it's almost foul, but we almost come from a space of being the victim all the time. So whenever we're describing racism, we're not describing it from a objective educational point of view. We're responding to racism and we're speaking about it from a place of hurt and pain and trauma and unresolved healing because we're so angry at just what our ancestors had to go through. But in all actuality, we didn't have to go through what they went through. I'm just being real. So the real question is, why are we so mad?
%.
Well, gee, learning something new every day.
The more you know.
We've been out of school for a while. School's not in session. College isn't in session. I guess this is what is being taught. Are you guys in college?
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, if I may disagree.
I'm just going to say cap. Like, that's a cap.
agree with you. Actually, there are quotas for minority employment numbers. So actually, a lot of companies have quotas that if you see a Hispanic name, you hire them, no matter what their merits are, especially in universities. They push universities to go, it's the law, to push them, even though their test scores are, oh, they're done. They're done with it. Anyway, we disagree, but I appreciate, you want to say something real quick?
Right, I think that's all written, and that's the expectation, but it's not put into practice.
Okay, interesting. I appreciate your point of view. Yeah. I did not go through.
But how can you prove that? How can you prove that? Like, I mean, it's like we get, like, are we gonna act like we don't see Hispanics working at certain locations? Are we gonna act like we don't see black people working at certain locations? Like, how can you prove that it's not being put into practice?
Through that course of who can be racist towards each other. Interesting,
right.
but
Probably
I'm
because you're white. So.
Oh, because I'm white, I didn't go through the racism course.
Probably not.
Very interesting. Okay, very cool.
There you go.
Very cool. You guys have a wonderful day.
You too.
You know where to catch this video at.
Sure.
Interesting. Thanks. I'm pretty sure I just got judged for the color of my skin. I don't know though.
Well, it's a wrap to that video. I thought it was interesting. I was hoping that she could have like interviewed a couple of bit more people, but you could kind of tell that the people in the area were kind of taking a liking to her, but she was clearly just discriminated against and judged based off of the color of her skin, because the black dude didn't even think that he didn't even try to comprehend her side of the argument, saying, hey, me as a white woman, if I suffer through being racially profiled or disrespected or cursed out based off the color of my skin, is that racism? And he said no. But if I took that same situation and changed the context and the skin tone, would that be racist? And he said, yeah. A lot of people share that same settlement. Like, I can't even front. Like, it's weird, but it sucks because it's always gonna feel like we're always coming from a place of hurt and not coming from a place of just being logical. Just being logical. You know what I mean? It's clearly a double standard that the black community needs to understand, that we've created this double standard. It's like we're so angry with dealing with racism that we don't even realize we're becoming the very thing that we starting to hate about the country. That doesn't help solve the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody that's white experiences privilege. Not everybody that's white is a racist. To even think like that is like, we're going back 200 years. We got to cut this shit. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, I thought it was a very interesting conversation. I appreciate my homeboy, or someone sent me this in my subscription link. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. It's your boy Evan King. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'm just gonna keep uploading more content. Till next time, Mamba out.